welcome to podcast number 16. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Melissa.
And we're the owners of Espace Tricot, a knit shop in Montreal, Canada. And
Yes.
we'd like to welcome anyone who's new, tuning in to our podcast for the first time. And of course, all of you who've been following us since the beginning or midway through. It's been quite a ride, lots of fun.
It has been. We're past our 1 year anniversary.
We are.
December was our, so what are we? We're already February, so
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. At least we're averaging more than one a month.
We're doing well. We're doing well. And considering that every time we start, we get those butterflies
Exactly.
and one of us tries to cancel.
Yeah, and we sometimes do cancel. In fact, we were supposed to do this a week ago.
And then this morning, we're all set up. And just as we're about to start, Melissa's like, should we cancel? I'm like, are you crazy? We're already here. This is the worst part. We are getting us all set up.
Just getting it started.
Exactly.
Just getting it started. Okay, we're on our way now, though.
Yeah, and it's been fun because there's so many people come to the shop and talk to us about the podcast and how they watch us and they follow us, and it's hilarious.
Us, yeah.
It really amazes us, but we're really honored about that. So actually, we're going to be able to meet quite a few of you, hopefully in Edinburgh.
Yes, that's it. Exactly. So we're heading off on the 13th of March. And we will be there from the Wednesday, I guess, until the Monday. We've sort of given ourselves a nice buffer on either end to acclimate and take our time to recover afterwards, and then head down to London, and then we're going to head off to Cologne as well, to the House and Handarbeit show, which happens in Cologne. It's the European equivalent of the Needle Arts Trade Show, I'd say, except I think they have more.
I think more crafts. I think
more hobbies.
Yeah, I think you're right.
More than just needle arts, I think.
And that one, what's interesting is when we go to Edinburgh, that'll be really for open to the public. So everyone, yarn enthusiasts, knitting enthusiasts will be there. Whereas when we go to Cologne, it's really for the industry. So it's shop owners, trade show designers, teachers, suppliers, manufacturers. So we're really excited because we've been talking about wanting to go there for a long time.
Yes, a few years. And the dollar has been so bad over the last couple of years that it hasn't really made sense to go. But it's still bad, and we're going to go because
we're going to Edinburgh anyways. So
exactly. So we can really just tack that on.
And make the trip like personal and like pleasure, business, personal all together, so it's lots of fun. So we're looking forward to that.
We're especially looking forward to Edinburgh though, because we are so looking forward to meeting people who've reached out to us and said that they're going to be there. And so we will be participating in the big knit night on the Thursday, as well as the Ceilidh on the Friday we'll be attending, and then of course we'll be showing up for I think all 3 days of
it's in our calendar.
Lounge. Yeah, it's in our calendar, and we plan on attending all 3 days. I think there's a 2-hour window that we're given each day to appear in the podcaster lounge.
So I think it's 12 till 2
every day.
If I'm not mistaken.
So we'll be there, and we look forward to meeting
whoever
all
comes.
of you, and we look forward to meeting all the podcasters we follow
of course
as well, which will be great.
It's lots of fun. And we're going to see Naomi. She was used to work for us, was one of our consultants, and she's studying up there, so that'll be nice to meet up with her. And I was just, for some reason, it totally went out of my mind, but I actually have ancestors in Scotland.
That's right.
Yeah, my grandmother is Elizabeth Flora MacDonald. I think that's pretty Scottish.
Which I think sounds like such a historically important name for some reason. I feel like she should be famous.
I think she would like to know that she would have had some importance in life. And
you were a dancer, right?
Yeah, I did Highland dancing, actually. So I did 8 or 9 years of competitive Highland dancing here in Montreal.
I'm going to expect you to do some performing when we get to...
Yes.
Are you going to participate in the Ceilidh?
Well, it's funny because a Ceilidh is usually, I thought it was more of an Irish thing with Irish dancing, but I guess they must, because when I did Highland dancing, we never did Ceilidhs. It was always the people who did Irish dancing.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm not sure, maybe in Scotland it's different. I'll have to see, but maybe I'll bring my tartan. My kilt, my McDonald dress tartan.
We've known each other a long time, and I've never seen you dance. So. I've never seen the Highland dancing.
We put it out there, and now when we get there, everyone's going to ask me about it.
Lisa for a few demos when you meet her.
Okay, I'm going to brush up on my skills.
Okay, good.
My chartreuse, my sword dance, my fling, my Flora MacDonald. So, anyways, so that's fun. So that's exciting for us.
So between now and then, it's going to be a little busy. I am just in the process of preparing for our move from New Jersey. So I've been here with my son, just camping out at my sister's house for the last few months, waiting for...
Ideally, she lives just down the street.
Yeah, just 2 blocks away, which is great. And in fact, we're just going to be a few blocks away. We've just found a place. We can now move all our stuff from New Jersey. So we will be moving all our stuff before Edinburgh Yarn Festival.
Because that's how we roll. We have great timing.
It's really stressful. Okay, so let's add some more stress, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I have to head down at the beginning of March and pack up all this stuff, and you know that whole thing before you're moving to get rid of stuff and not bring stuff back stuff you don't need. So sorting and so packing up on the 8th and 9th, and then arriving. Our stuff will clear customs here on the 12th. All our stuff will be dumped in our house on the 12th, and then we fly on the 13th.
And you're going to wave a magic wand, and when you come back, it's
hopefully I'll be able to find my clothes to pack, and hopefully when I come back after 2 weeks, my husband and son will have set the entire place up, and there'll be nothing left for me to do.
What a dream.
Wouldn't that be great?
What a dream.
It's not going to happen. This is what's going to
maybe
be set
some
up.
rooms,
the
kitchen,
computers, the kitchen maybe, and the computers. Those will be all set up.
In the bathroom maybe.
And the bathroom. So
busy
beginning
times.
of April will be busy when we're back as well. The end of March, beginning of April will be busy, just getting settled. And so I suspect the next time we record will be the first or second week of April.
Yeah. So
and we'll take some footage while we're in Edinburgh and H&H as well.
And London, doing visiting yarn shops.
Yeah,
We're
so we'll certainly
Instagram.
We'll take some footage and we'll incorporate that into our next podcast as a little update. Yeah.
So that's kind of what's going on with all of our trips.
Yeah,
it's very exciting. I have to say, I'm pretty excited.
And this last weekend was great. We had a big weekend event. We had our February
draw.
I guess it's sort of becoming an annual thing now, right?
I don't know. Is it? I think it's
the second or third year we've done.
We might have started when Stephen West came a few years ago.
Right.
I think that kind of started the ball rolling.
Day event.
So maybe
we did it sort of low key. We actually did on Valentine's last year, which was a Tuesday, so it wasn't as big a deal. But this year we decided to push it. A few days, and we had a draw your discount event and a discount online, and we had a lot of samples for sale this weekend. And we also had Stephanie from Asylum Fibers come in, and her yarn, we had ordered her yarn, and it arrived just in time.
Thursday and Friday, 2 boxes Thursday, 1 box Friday.
So
it's great timing.
This is her beautiful yarn back here, just some of it. We have a tower of it here as well, and so she was able to come in and from 3 to 5 on Saturday. Which added to the fun, and then we decided to have a big knit night that night with
all her friends that came with her.
Yeah, so Stephanie came with a nice group from New York who were all so lovely, right?
Oh, they were so much fun, and it's so different to have people join you from other places because it's just adds variety and
when you're
spice.
Knitters, you just feel like you know each other already, right? So it was
nice and like some really nice discussions and different points of view, and like you said, knitting connects everyone
You're
together.
already connected, and then you start talking. Yeah, but it's like there's no barrier. So so it was great that we had them, and we also invited whoever on our staff wanted to come, and Julie Asselin came as well, and Tiffany from Twill and Print. And so
it was a vedette night.
It was a party. We had prosecco and pizza and
candies, Halloween, Valentine's
Day candy, and we knit our faces off till about midnight.
Till about midnight. So our staff worked like crazy that day.
They were exhausted.
A few of them came in that morning at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning,
and then they were here bright and early the next day as well.
So and lots of web orders. That's another thing. I'm sure. For those of you who processed web orders for that day, we still haven't processed them all.
We're still in the process of getting them out the door. Yeah.
So
they've all been pulled. We just need to get them shipped.
Exactly. Yeah. So if some of you are wondering, how come my order is a few days later than it usually is, you'll just have to bear with us because it's quite a lot. But we're so lucky because today's Monday, our store's closed. Yeah. And we have Amelie and Emma. Are they both
they're going to come in today and just to work on web orders.
So that's, we're just so blessed that our staff love our store as much as we do, and customer service is important to them. So that's
I think our customers feel it, even if they can't, if they're not close enough to shop in the store. I think they feel it.
They definitely feel it. And then on that note, we're very actually sad to say that Amma is leaving us. Not completely, but we were so excited when she joined our team because she took on the responsibility of the web store full time, and then Emily helped her on Tuesday. But Amma is actually a recreational therapist, and she graduated a little while ago, and
so she's been offered a position in her field. So it's understandable.
It's a maternity leave replacement, so who knows? She might do that and then come back. But she can't leave us, so she's going to still work on Saturdays for us. And so we're really grateful for that.
And we're very lucky to have had someone land in our lap.
Yes.
So Emma is leaving, but Emma is joining us. So she will be taking on that position.
responsibility and working with Amalia for the web orders. But there's it's great because she already came in yesterday to sort of
get her feet wet.
Exactly. So she'll be working with Amma this week to help transition, and because Amma will also be here Saturday, the day then she can also help Emma overlap. Yeah. So that's that. And then we also have Annie, who's joining us, who she's actually a little bit more behind the scenes. She's going to be helping out Stephanie,
who's our inventory manager, who comes in before the store opens and makes all our yarn look beautiful and restocks and does a lot of ordering for us as well.
So Annie is going to be helping her, and Annie actually does not knit, but we have a plan to pull her over to the dark side.
She won't not knit for long.
We're like, she goes, but I don't, it's okay. I'm like, don't worry, you're going to slowly get there. So it's a little bit addictive once you get started. So that's sort of what's happening with us. Also, our spring and summer yarns are kind of winding their way towards us. Yeah. So we've restocked already some of the cons that we already have, and then our linens and some new yarns will be coming in.
Oh, it's so exciting. We have so many beautiful yarns coming and so many plans. I might do a third Hayward
summer Hayward.
That's my summer Hayward.
Yeah, there's a few sweaters that I've had that I'm eyeing to do, either in the Petit Lin or also in the Quince Kestrel. So I have so many. So I'm trying to get.
I'm thinking the Petit Lin Plus. Ours for the Hayward. What do you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I did the coastal Sunshine Coast last year in that yarn. Yes, it's really a nice sweater to wear. So we're going to be mijoter. Ça va mijoter tous ces idées dans notre tête, and we'll figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah. So our next podcast, actually, we probably will have some to start talking about, right?
Yeah, I think we have
a lot planned to start coming in March.
We'll have a lot of new yarns, and hopefully you and I will finish our winter stuff that we're doing now.
I'm about to cast on a really heavyweight wool sweater. I'll have to finish it on our trip.
Yeah, well, it'll be cold in the evenings.
Well, it'll depend on if the yarn comes in.
It's always good for next year too.
Yes.
I mean, God, it's never wasted.
No.
So
I have no problem knitting with wools and stuff over the summer either.
Especially so many places are air conditioned also.
Yeah, exactly. I might not wear it, but I have no problem knitting.
No, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. For the fall. Yeah.
So like when you're knitting in air conditioning, you're not feeling it. It's just like if you're trying to knit on a beach in Cuba or something and it's 40 degrees. It's not so obvious. So that brings us to what we're wearing.
Some knitting content?
Yes. Content? I think they call that a chit chat.
Oh yeah?
I've heard that on other podcasts.
Oh really? Was that our chit chat? Okay.
Yeah, that was our chit chat. Chit chat about us.
Okay, so now on to some
what we're wearing. So, oh my goodness, I'm wearing blue now. Obviously,
it's got gray blue.
It is my color. I do look nice in this color.
I love it.
If I do say so myself, because my eyes can go to blue or green depending on what I wear. So if I have to do color, this is a color that I would do. It's so funny because I Instagrammed the sweater I'm doing, and then I wrote in the caption, "Oh, I'm back to black." And Melissa says, "Did you ever leave?" I'm like, yeah, I was into blue for a while.
But your navy, you would choose the darkest navies, which were practically black.
Exactly. So this is the giant luxury scarf that
Simple luxury.
The simple luxury. Thanks. Yeah. The simple. Yeah, it's not the giant. It's the simple.
Giant,
so some people are a bit confused because it used to be a free pattern, then it became a paid pattern, and then we discovered that it's still a free pattern, but not through Ravelry. So you have to go to the Pickles website and then register through their website, and then you get the pattern for free.
Yeah. So if you don't want to register, then you can purchase it on Ravelry. Yeah. If you want it for free, then you do unfortunately have to go and register.
To go through them. So this is what was my work in progress last time. So it's Madeline Tosh stovepipe, which is a dark blue, and Lusso in the navy blue. So that's the scarf I'm wearing.
It's nice because the Lusso gives it even more heft than the Silk Cloud, right?
Yes, it is a little bit.
It's a DK weight.
I have to say, I did it on the same size of needle. I did it on an 8mm that I've done my other ones with, but this one is a little bit thicker, like you said, because
it's a little denser.
So I have now ones for every temperature. I've got a thin, a medium, and a large.
See, Lisa's very sensitive that way. To me, it's like I can't imagine. I'm not so sensitive that the density of the simple luxury is going to be something that my body registers. Yeah. My body just doesn't register.
You're lucky. It's hard being me, Melissa.
It's very hard being me.
She's so
sensitive.
I have like hats for like I've got like 6 different hats for different temperatures, and it's crazy because yesterday was so hot, and I'm like, oh, I have to go in the back, get my other hat and my mittens.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
It's a lot of work to manage all that stuff.
And
And
then,
I grab my mittens. I've been wearing the same pair of mittens all winter, if it's minus 20 or if it's plus
I've got
2.
I've got the liner alone. Then I have the liner with the regular, and then I have the liner with the felted mitten, and then I have a thinner liner, and it's like and so every morning I'm like, what's the temperature? I got to check the temperature.
I'm just stressed.
But you know what?
Stressed listening to you.
Yes, it is a lot of work, and especially if I'm in gray, then I have to do all of those things in gray. Then I get into blue now, so I have to do everything in blue.
You have to be coordinated.
Because my rule is at least 2 things have to match.
Okay.
So either like this, like it all kind of has to go together.
Matchy-matchy.
No, without being matchy-matchy. But if I have like blue and blue and then orange mitts, it's okay.
Yeah.
So things have to coordinate, but I have to have at least
3 different colors. No, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
2 colors have to at least match. So then it's like I have to keep repeating a hat for every season in all those colors. So it gets to be a lot of knitting.
Well, that's good.
It's good.
That's not a problem.
I guess if I was shopping at a yarn store, they'd be happy because I'd be spending a lot of money.
It's like next year we'll get her into camel.
Exactly. So I have to do all that. Okay. So it's but you know what? Since I've been doing that, I've been a lot happier.
Well, there you go.
Because I've always been temperature sensitive since I'm a child.
I know.
Always. So now it's like I don't complain about the weather anymore.
I know. I had this friend in high school too, and she was always like tearing off her sweater or putting on a sweater, tearing off her sweater, putting on a sweater, putting on a long sleeve, putting on a t-shirt, and I was like, I must be super out of touch with my body.
It's great. Stay there.
Am I hot? Am I cold? I actually have to stop and think. Well, I think I'm okay. I actually don't know.
Stay there. But ever since I've been dressing properly for the weather, I don't complain about winter anymore. Yeah. After complaining all these years, I just found the solution.
You found the solution.
And then I'm wearing this lovely sweater that was knit. The pattern was actually designed and knit by Stephanie Earp, who works for us. And it's called the Four Score sweater.
Yeah.
And maybe I should do a little...
it's knit with drops
air, which is thinner than cloud. And I love this neck. Like, isn't this cute? It's like
a funnel.
Yeah, it's so cute. It's little turtleneck, kind of a little...
it just comes perfectly to the 4... It's called 4 score, right?
Yeah, 4 score.
Based on, I'm assuming, playing on the 4x4 rib aspect of it.
It's really nice. I mean, it flatters so many different body shapes, and just like the nice line and the neck.
Is there
it's very comfortable.
It's just straight. I was just wondering if there was waist shaping, but I don't think so because it maintains its 4x4 rib all the way. And
I guess because the ribbing would pull it in.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be a little bit. I haven't looked.
But it's very flattering.
It's very flattering, and
comfortable, right? The drop
so comfortable, and
lovely.
It's light.
Yeah.
It's it has a little bit of the fuzz.
Yeah.
Without having to double strand with the mohair, but it's very light and nice, and I find it's too hot.
I find it super sharp.
It's really sharp. We were so proud of her when she came in wearing one. We
were like, "What sweater is that?" She goes, "I just designed it."
So she had done it in pink for herself, and then she reknit it in this beautiful color, and it's available for purchase. And she's so kindly given us a promo code to share with you. And so if you decide to buy her pattern, the promo code is Espace Tricot, all caps, one word, and it's called the 4 Score. 4 Score sweater by Stephanie Earp.
E-A-R-P. And do you know what the promo code is? It 30% off?
Oh my God!
I think it's 30% off.
That's a good. I didn't check the amount.
I don't know if it's 30% off or 50, but it's in that range.
You'll see when you go to buy it. It'll be in there, and we'll list it in our show notes as well. So if you forget, so I'm really honored that she washed it and got it all ready for me, all nice and fresh, and so and it matches perfectly with my scarf here. Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing.
Good.
Isn't that great? I could wear a hand knit that I didn't make.
I know.
Okay, and what are you wearing, Melissa?
Well, I had to knit mine.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to knit mine practically twice. So this is my Miro Mesnil. So I have Instagrammed this quite a bit. My process. It is a pattern by Cléonice. And I think I showed it on the last podcast because I think I had just started it. And I sort of swatched for this. I didn't swatch in the round. I did a perfunctory little...
Just
Give it
to
a little
say,
steam.
juste pour dire qu'elle a fait son échantillon.
Exactly.
Juste pour
So
dire.
it was a very lame
Yeah.
swatch.
Serves her right. She
Serves me
did like
right.
this much. You did like
And
this
then
much about, no? When you undid
Least
it?
I was 9 inches past the sleeves.
That much?
I hadn't knit the sleeves,
No,
but
but-
I was 9 inches past the
But
yoke.
as you were knitting it, you were telling me, it's too big. It's too big. It's too big.
So I finally tried it on. I put it on some, a bigger needle so I could try it on, and it was really out to here. And
What do they call those things?
Heart.
A moo-moo?
Pardon?
Moo-moo?
Yeah, like a moo-moo or
something like that.
And so I just wanted to throw it in a corner, and I was like, nope.
I'm shocked. I did not think you would knit it again. Good for you.
But you know what?
Good for you.
This is such a nice pattern to knit. It's easy to just start. It's easy to just, there's nothing complicated about it. And it's an 18-stitch gauge, and I was using beautiful yarns. I used the Debbie Bliss Fine Donegal stranded with Shibui Silk Cloud.
In preparation for our Scotland trip. Fine Donegal.
Fine Donegal. Exactly. So it was, working the yarn was just beautiful, and the pattern itself was just a pleasure to knit. And so I really didn't mind. It took me about an hour to frog it. My son helped me. And
you got right back on it.
Because the silk cloud, I was worried that the silk cloud was going to make it hard to, but it actually wasn't bad.
It was okay?
Yeah, so I frogged it and I cast it on right away.
Yeah, that's the trick.
Because otherwise I was going to...
Or else you weren't going to go there.
Yeah, and so then I knit it all again, and I knit to 15 inches past the armhole, 15 inches, and cast off, and it was really nice as a sweater. But I thought, every time because I like to wear...
Short or long tunic?
It was a short... It sort of ended at my hips.
Yeah, because you like it either cropped or long.
Yeah, but this still, I would have wanted to wear some sort of tunic or something underneath it. And I thought, but I don't really want to wear, because I like to have if it's short, then I like to have another layer underneath it.
Of course.
And I was like, you know what? I don't really want to be bothered having to layer this.
Yeah.
And so I undid the cast off again, and I added 6 more inches. So I think now it's 21 inches from the armhole, and my bishop sleeves, which I love, which is one of the options in the pattern. These are 11 inches from the armhole. And what was so nice about this one, because as you'll notice, I was not on Sleeve Island.
No,
right?
I think you're off.
No. Well, these one for this sweater in particular, because you could knit these on 16-inch needles. So I was like knitting
there
a
you
hat,
go.
Right? So I was like,
if you ever have to design a sweater, Melissa, 16
that's right, bishop sleeves. So really, there was no part of this pattern that was tedious or. I just have to get past this. It was fun. So the pattern actually gives you lots of different options in terms of the kind of sleeves. You can do straight sleeves. You can do a cropped. Is this one cropped? Yeah, this one's cropped, and then this one's a little longer. All of them end with ribbing at the bottom, and I actually decided to leave that off because I feel like it kind of pulled it in and gives it a bit of a bell shape, and I wanted more of an A-line tunic effect. So that's what I did, and I think it worked.
No, it's fantastic, and I have to say, I love the color. It's like it's not brown, it's not gray, it's not black. It's
it has some sort of gold specks in it from the
because you did the black with the brown. Did you do the brown Fine Donegal?
It's called bark.
Okay, yeah.
It's dark brown. Dark brown with some sparks. Yeah, it's bark color, but I used the black Shibui Silk Cloud.
So it really gives it a very interesting color that I don't think I've really ever seen before.
I know. In fact, I'm going to go grab some Fine Donegal.
I find it's a very interesting color combination. Sometimes, and you don't really know what it's going to look like until you swatch it. So many times people want to combine things and they're like, I don't know. And that's sort of like what we talked about our last podcast. You really just have to give it a try. Put them together, knit a few rows. Even somebody came in on Saturday and wanted to do a comfort fade, but more in sort of warm neutral tones, beiges and golden colors. And we weren't too sure if it would look too similar. So I said, well, why don't you just, while you're doing your swatch, interchange the colors. So that way, because in the fade you have sort of you go up and then you work 2 colors and then you keep going. So I said do like a fade but in a swatch format, and that way right away you'll get to see if you like that combination, and if you don't like it then you just like start again and change it up. So really it's so important when we're knitting that we have to try things, because I know for me, for example, sometimes it's like I have an idea of what I want it to look like and then I knit a whole thing and I'm frustrated. But if I were to do a little sample before, then it would give me a better idea idea of how it's going to turn out. So I think that's really a really kind of the way to go. But then on the other hand, sometimes you're just like, oh, I just want to get it started. I just want to do it. And that's the problem, right, Melissa, with swatching? Exactly. Is that we want to start.
Exactly.
And then...
And so I knew my swatch when I did it, it wasn't quite right.
Yeah.
But then I just sort of adjusted needle and said, but if
it's gonna work.
in the round, it'll be a bit tighter. And, you do all your...
Well, I did my swatch for the sweater that I'm going to show you. And it's really funny because afterwards I realized that instead of doing a swatch, I couldn't knit one of the pockets. Because the pocket was like 22 stitches and I swatched 20 stitches. I'm like, darn, I wasted an hour.
So this is the color I did. This one's bark. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we're out of stock of it. This is the last ball we have in this color, but it is on order. So those are the two that I swatched. Mm-hmm. So you see how it just completely gives it a different... And of course, I have my silk cloud halo. But I thought this was a nice combination, too. This one.
Yeah, that would be...
That's
that would brighten it,
I think.
See, so this would brighten it up a little bit, whereas the black darken this one a little bit.
Exactly. So that's bronze and caffeine. And I thought this was good too,
that would be that. I mean, mineral is one of my favorite colors from Shibui.
Me too. This one is taupe. So taupe and mineral.
That would be fabulous. Ooh.
Anyway, I know. So I feel like there's another one in my future.
Peut-être.
Yes.
Too many things we want to knit.
Exactly. So I can't recommend this pattern highly enough. It was fun to knit. It was pleasurable. It is a nice fit. It's sort of body conscious without being, it's not clingy, but it's flattering, and I think anybody could wear it, really.
Yeah, it's so true what you say. Like, I feel like that too. If a pattern is easy to start,
right?
It takes off the pressure. Sometimes you think a pattern is easier and like, I gotta do that.
I gotta do this.
I gotta do a tubular cast on.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm doing the larch. So I will show you a nice picture first. So this is it's designed by Pam Allen, and it's originally done in owl, in quince owl, but we had a lot of problems getting a lot of the neutral colors because they were always back ordered. So we had Brooklyn tweed and lots of it, and I wanted to do a black sweater because I don't have enough. So I decided to do it in shelter,
cast
iron, and what I like is that I find sometimes with shelter, some of the patterns are very dense.
Yeah.
And I wanted this to be like a light tunic, and I didn't want it to be too dense. And owl is very similar to shelter. Shelter has a little bit more yardage than owl does. So I thought it would be a good substitute, and I'm really enjoying the fabric.
It has alpaca in it, right?
Yes.
So it has a bit of a
little bit of an alpaca pick, a little bit of a halo, but a little bit of an alpaca pick, whereas this is 100% wool. So I'm really enjoying the texture. It feels very springy.
And it'll be nice once it's washed and bloomed too. It's going to fill in some of those spaces. It'll create a beautiful fabric.
So I'm looking
if
forward
it's
to
like
that.
loft. I mean,
exactly. That's like I've knit loft on a tighter gauge, and this is when it's knit looser, it's softer. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I just passed the pockets. So I just put the pockets there in the front, and it's huge amount of ease. So the model who's modeling this photo, it's 17 inches of ease. So I thought that was
so it's quite a lot. Quite square.
So I decided that I was going to do it with a little bit. I'm doing the 45 inch instead of this is the 49 inch, and I'm doing a 45. So I think I have 13 inches of ease.
Okay.
Or about 13 inches of ease. So I'm happy with that.
So that'll be good.
Yeah, because I measured some other sweaters that I have that are loose, and
that you like
and this is still a little bit bigger than that. So which another thing that's surprising is the to get gauge. The designer, Pam, did it on a 4.5 to get 15.5 stitches.
But that's, see, Lisa, we are very tight knitters. I mean, some people are very loose. I think that's very loose.
That has to be very loose because I'm on a 6.5.
4.5 would give me an 18 to 20.
Yeah. Right? So I'm on a 6.5 to get the gauge of 15.5 stitches.
Yeah, I'd have to do that too.
anyways, which doesn't really matter. So, and that's sometimes people say that, like, oh, I can't get gauge. Well, you can always get gauge. You just have to change your needle size.
And it's always better to adjust your needle size than to try to knit tighter or looser because you can't maintain it.
No.
So always adjust needle size. Change your needle, not your knitting.
Yes, for sure, because you are who you are, and you will always go back to that. Yeah. And the other bonus about this is you can spit splice all your ends.
So there's no ends at the end, except for your starting one and your
and the pockets. I'm gonna have to sew the pockets,
and I guess under your sleeves too.
But seriously, though.
How are the sleeves done? You just pick up?
Yeah, I think you pick up and then you pick up and then you knit.
For front and back, and then you just
exactly. So anyway, and it's like such a fast knit, and it's like really no brainer. There's no shaping. It's just straight up. So it's sort of like what you were talking about, easy knit.
I wouldn't mind knitting this either.
Well,
so I want to see how
you'll try it on. And
I'll probably stick some Kid Silk Haze in there too.
Yeah, of course. Somebody said, "Oh no Kid Silk Haze," but no Silk Cloud. I wanted
it
to
be. You don't really knit that much.
No, I don't knit a lot with it. Plus, I didn't want it to be super warm.
Right.
Because we are going into spring, so I wanted a sweater, but I didn't want a heavy sweater because I have enough heavy sweaters.
And we know about being sensitive to temperature.
All my secrets are out. They're all out there. Okay, Madame, what else? Do you have something else on your... Yes, you have your mitten and your
okay, these are... Yeah.
Works
I think that's the only work in progress I have.
T'en as deux. And your word. Oh, yeah. It's like staring her in the face.
Okay, I have 2 works in progress right here. So I just got a bee in my bonnet about... Because I watch a lot of podcasts, and so a lot of people are knitting. You know, I've been watching Ellie of the Skein Deer podcast. These are her mittens, and
such a pretty pattern.
It is such a pretty pattern, and it makes first time color work in this sort of Norwegian style mitten really accessible for people. It's done in a DK weight yarn, and so I thought I'm going to give it a go. So my first. Actually, this is the first year that I've done any color work at all, and so the first sweater was the Oraifi sweater that and I haven't finished mine. Although I'm here
you're on the home stretch.
On the yoke, so I had a good
amount of color
initial experience with color work. Although in a very forgiving yarn, right? So that's with the Let Lopi, so it
hides all your mistakes.
Everything. Right?
Emily is like, oh, there was a mistake in the color work. I'm like, really, I didn't even notice. You got notice.
And then the Sunset Highway was my second, and while that sweater looks very nice, I know that behind the scenes, so I didn't really catch my floats. That I didn't do the most professional.
You weren't technical.
I wasn't. I didn't really know enough, and so I just did it. I just did it.
Yeah.
So this one, I'm actually trying to be a little bit more
professional.
Professional is that the word?
I don't know.
A little bit more technically proficient. Paying a little bit more attention to my tension. And trying to, I even tried to do the two-handed. Doing continent, holding my yarn in 2 hands, and my tension is all over the place. I don't know if you can see how it's pulling around the thumb here. And I had started. So a lot of people, I think she calls for a 3 and a 4 millimeter or something like that. And so I said, I'm a tight knitter, so I'm going to start on a 3.5. And then you switch immediately after the ribbing to a larger needle. So I switched to the 4, and I could barely get the cuff over.
I know. I tried it on. It's tight.
It's really tight. And then, so after row 12, I switched to a 4.5 millimeter needle. But it was so tight, I thought I'm just going to have to rip out the whole thing. But then Ellie, commented on my picture, and she said, probably if you stick with the 4.5 now, you'll have a nice size hand.
Yeah.
So. And she said a snug cuff is not the end of the world.
No,
that's a nice thing to have on a mitten.
And you don't wear watches, so that's...
No, I don't really. Well, I have all my bracelets and stuff, which kind of get bunged up here, but I decided to stick with the 4.5 because I really didn't have it in me to pull it out. Because you knew. Let's just be honest, right? Yeah. I thought if I can get away with the 4.5 on the hand. And it turned out that the 4.5 is a perfect
And what
fit.
Yarn are you using?
I'm using the Brooklyn Freed Arbor, actually. So I'm very pleased with this. I haven't done my thumb yet, but I'm just going to do the next. Pretty. I'm going to do the second mitten first, and then do both the thumbs at the same time.
Oh, that's smart. Let me inspect. It's beautiful, Melissa.
Thanks.
It's beautiful. I mean, the pattern is beautiful. It's very well knit, Melissa.
Oh,
seriously.
Thank you. So, Diana Walla of Cake and Vikings and Paper Tiger blog is working here a couple of days a week, and so she inspected it on Saturday night at her knit night, and she said it was pretty good for her, for her
standards.
Yes.
You know what I like too? The colors, like it's a nice contrast, but it's not stark. Like I like the colors you chose.
Kettle and driftwood, I believe, are the colors.
Look how pretty that is.
Instead of a cream. I contemplated doing cream.
No,
but
I like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a work of art, really.
I know.
You know, it really is. You could frame that.
I know, and so then I was looking at all the podcasters. I wasn't familiar with all the podcasters who are coming to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival Podcaster Lounge, and so I went and looked at the listing, and I started watching, you know, the ones that I wasn't familiar with. So I wasn't familiar with Patricia of Knitography, and so I started watching her podcast, and I just binged watched them a couple of weeks. So they're so good. It's thoroughly enjoyable, and she is making the most beautiful mitten and sock blockers. She's an American married a Norwegian living in Norway, and she knits a lot of color work, and in particular Norwegian pattern designs. And so she's created from her farm these beautiful mitten blockers and sock blockers, and is starting to sell them. They take a while because they're all handmade. So I've ordered us both a set, Lise. So you're gonna have to start.
Exactly.
Are you gonna do these?
Yeah, well, I mean, not now, but I mean, I love the pattern. I find it's beautiful.
I think when your hand heals a little bit more, that'll be the ultimate test of to
see if I can, if I can do it. But I really, I find the pattern is stunning. Actually,
it is really,
I really like it.
Really, really nice. So the trick will be to cast on the second one right away, so that I can not do the second mitten syndrome thing. But they were fun to do. So the only thing is that they require a lot of concentration.
Yeah.
You are glued to your chart, or at least I am glued to my chart while you're knitting them. So you're not doing anything else. You're not watching it. For me, I wasn't watching anything. Yeah, maybe listening.
That's when you get your audiobooks or your radio out. That's us, but like Diana probably doesn't have to pay attention.
I know.
Do everything. So
that's it. And then I have one more work in progress. You've got yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have my, of someone, I'm doing a Vertices Unite. So someone put a message, another one, and I'm like, is that like a positive comment? A jab? I wasn't too sure.
Well, maybe they thought it was me because I had just finished one.
Oh, yeah, because, we like to keep people guessing. So this is actually La Bien-Aimée yarn that we bought when we were at Rhinebeck. It was a special colorway for Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
And I had originally bought it to make a sweater. I was going to do the Piece of Silver by Vera Välimäki. I still love the sweater, but let's face it, I will never wear a sweater with speckles. I just can't. I can't do it.
But this is so subtle.
It is. Well, that's why I bought it, because I said for sure I'll be able to make a sweater in that. But I can't.
I love this color so
love
much. I really regret not buying this.
It's like a neutral, pop a neutral.
With a pop of neutral. The neutral with some pops of neutral.
And I really love the shape of the Vertices Unite. So pourquoi me casser la tête puis trouver un autre patron? Just do what I love.
Why break my head to find another pattern?
Right.
She said.
This is what I like. And this one is going to be different because I'm not going to do the I-cord in another color.
You're not?
No, I'm going to do it all neutral.
Okay.
Because the Wolf Folk one I did a navy blue, which I'm very happy with. Yeah. I did one colorful one.
But this one you're really going to stick to your one color.
This is really one color neutral. So I'm very happy with it, and that's it. So I'm doing a Vertices Unite.
So this is a single ply, 100% merino.
Yeah, fingering weight
yarn.
Yeah.
And we don't have La Bien-Aimée at the moment, but we've got Hedgehog Skinny Singles. We've got the Asylum Fibers.
We have Art Fill
Solo. We've got lots of yarns, single ply merino, and of course Madeline Tosh.
Yeah. So the one I did in Wolf Folk, I did it in worsted weight. So in terms of the sizing, he offers two sizes, and one is like a 50 something around a 52 or 56 inch wingspan.
Okay.
And then the other one is a lot longer. I think it could be 90 or 100 inches.
Okay.
And I like my scarves in the 70 range.
Okay.
Okay, you got to know who you are.
So how many? So you know that first section where you either knit to 60 stitches
or
on
90
a needle or 90. Where did you go?
I went right in the middle. I did 75.
That's funny because my worsted version, that's exactly what I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in my worsted version, I did the small.
You did 60?
Yeah, I did 60 because it was a bigger yarn.
Okay.
Because I wanted that one to be a little bit smaller because it's more of my winter scarf.
Yeah.
And so this one, so I said because if I looked at the 70, say whatever inches is halfway between 50 and 90 or whatever. So that first section, before you decrease determines the length of your...
The size of the whole rest of the scarf. Yeah.
So, so I did that. So I'll have about between 72 and 76 inch wingspan. So I'm very, very happy with that. And
that'll be a great project to bring on the trip if you're not finished it already.
No, I don't think so because I want to finish my sweater.
So
my goal is my sweater, but the Vertices Unite will be easy to bring.
Okay.
And you
so I just have one more work in progress. It is the Hayward. So I think I've shown this on a few podcasts now, but it's the pattern by Julie Hoover, and I knit this one in black in Brooklyn Tweed Loft in the cast iron colorway, and this is now the fossil colorway. So this is actually meant to be knit in 2 pieces. I think I've talked about this a few times now. It's meant to be knit in 2 pieces and then seamed, but I opted to knit it in the round, and then I just do a faux seam at the edges. So I've finished the bottom, front, and back, I guess, and now the back, and now I'm just working on the front, which won't take long, and then just the 2 sleeves. And the sleeves are small because really they're just, they're not full sleeves.
No.
They're just sort of, it's almost a poncho style, you know? And they're short, and they're sort of 3/4 length sleeves. So I'm hoping to finish this before Edinburgh, actually.
Yeah.
And this is on 5mm needles. It's loft at a looser gauge,
I
21
love that
stitch
loft
gauge. So it knits up pretty quickly too. So imagine 21 stitches. I need to use a 5mm.
Yeah.
Right?
I know, eh?
So
we are tight. And I always use a 4mm for my shawls every time I do fingering weight shawl. I even whether it's lace or fingering weight, I always use a 4mm.
Yeah, me too.
That's sort of my thing.
Yeah.
So those are the
all our works in progress, finished projects.
And then we just wanted to. We have some new products and some stuff restocked, and the most exciting thing we have are these new pins.
Oh yes!
So Tiffany brought them on Saturday when she came to the knit night, and then I'm like, everybody wanted to buy them immediately.
So these just came in. Tiffany just got her shipment last week, and already several, I think, of the styles have already sold out. Right? So the 2 most popular ones are these are the ones that are almost sold out. Yeah. So Sip Knit.
We only, because she had some quality control issues for these ones, we're basically sold out now.
Yeah, we are sold out, and Tiffany says that she will have more at the end of March. So after Edinburgh Yarn Festival,
and we've ordered like 50 of each, so we'll be good for those. So there's that one, and then there's this is like
slip knit.
I know, it's so cute.
Anyway, that's perfect.
And
this one is
a spinner. Like it actually
spins. You guys, I should take this one out.
And it says just one more, and then it's like row, stitch, and you.
So every second wedge is row.
Yeah.
And then your choices in between are nap, cup, episode.
And what's really cool is
very smart.
Tiffany designs these.
Yeah, she's an illustrator.
She illustrates them, and they're her pictures, and then she works directly with the manufacturer. And she said she's very picky, and she goes back and forth, and like the manufacturer will go, "Oh, we can't do that." She's like,
I think you can.
But I think you can. It needs to be a little bit thinner, and so they go back and forth until they're both happy and they can compromise. So this one is my favorite. Places to knit. I'm a big traveler. Places you can knit. I'm a big traveler, so I love that one.
And I like this one, Sleeve Island.
Yes.
They're perfect.
They are. This one is Yarn Bomb. My son actually put this on his backpack. He just loved it. Yeah, Yarn Bomb.
And Slow Knitter. I like that.
And it has a little sparkle on it, so that's super cute.
Yeah, so we have lots of those ones in stock.
It's just the Sip Knit and the spinner which will be restocked.
Yes.
So there's that. And then we got this really nifty gauge ruler by Ann Budd. Maybe I should put it like this. That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a gauge ruler. So, and then on the side you have up here you have an inches ruler. So what's really interesting about this gauge ruler is that it measures your gauge in 1 inch increments from 9 stitches per inch up to 4 stitches per inch. And so what you do is you take the ruler and you put it on top of your knitting, your swatch, and you match up the size of the stitches. I mean, it's hard to...
So you find the one that fits best.
You find the one that fits the best. And it's nice because there's white, so if you're on dark yarn, and if you're on... and then, if you can see, and then you also have black stitches if you're on lighter yarn. So it's a really it's a fun little tool. So, and it's a nice flexible ruler, a good size.
And it also has a ruler on the edge of it.
So, you should always double check with that as well. Yeah. So we thought that was a nifty little gadget that we got by Ann Budd.
Ann Budd.
And it's called handy gauge ruler. There you go.
Such an imaginative yet perfect name, right?
Exactly.
So should we talk about our little...
Exciting. Our little Espace.
We're all about putting our logo on things these days, Elise.
It took us forever, and now we're on a roll. We also have some...
So we have actually had our highlighters for a while.
But we never sold them. We never had them on.
No, they weren't. We were just using them as giveaways.
Yeah.
For big web orders.
But now we're like, people might want to purchase them. And finally, tape measures. I mean, I think everybody has tape measures. It's taken us 8 years to get tape measures with our. There we go.
Yeah, it's quite good in inches and centimeters.
Yeah. And there we go. So.
And I just let me just highlight.
And the highlighters are so fun.
I love these for when I'm working patterns. I'll often go through a pattern and highlight my size all the way down in terms of the stitch counts and the number of things to cast on and cast off and all the way down for my size. So I don't, because what happens is my patterns sometimes hibernate.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And then I will come back to it and actually forget what size I'm working.
Me too. And it's like, how stupid am I? It's just so easy to highlight the or circle.
Or what I've done too is just used it to highlight the rows where I've done.
Check off.
Just sort of track my pattern as I go. And so these are handy.
Yeah.
I think these,
so we're excited.
These are good to have in your Notions pouch.
And now what I realize is I have tape measures everywhere because if
you can never find one,
No,
right?
and then I'm in the living room and I'm knitting. I'm like, I got to go get my Notions pouch, get the tape measure. So I have like a little plant and I have them behind the plant. Have a little bowl and I have them all over. So that's pretty handy. And we're also getting some felt tip markers. So in our magenta.
Oh yes, those are on their way,
so
right?
Those are on their way.
Let me just highlight what we've talked about here, Elise. Okay, so my knitting notes. Look at this beautiful journal. So you guys,
it's like a linen cover.
Yes, it is. It's beautiful. So this is the journal that was made by the creators of Len magazine, and we got this just before Christmas. We got a big order, they sold out. We got another order, they sold out. And so now we have some. Now we have some in stock. But it's such a beautiful book for if you love paper, if you love stationery, if you love sort of pen to paper.
It's a beautiful. You can even.
A beautiful piece.
I mean, you could use fountain pen. It would absorb a little bit, but there's a bit of a tooth for those of you who know.
Yeah.
No, I haven't tested because I can't really write with fountain pens yet.
Okay.
But there's a bit of a tooth to the pattern for those of paper. Those of you who are paper enthusiasts. But it's a nice thick paper, and so.
So in addition to having a lot of, I think there's 21 or 27 spaces for you to track your projects, like 21 sections. It also has a great a page for showing you needle conversions. It also has 2 rulers on either side. If you're really in a pinch and you don't have your wrist ruler, you don't have your tape measure, but you've got your book, you've got inches and centimeters. It has a whole section on knitting abbreviations, which I think is quite handy especially for new knitters. And then on the projects page, you've got your date and then all the information that you want to track for a particular project. And then you can write some notes about it, and then you can also even include
drawings.
Sketches, but also yarn labels and that kind of thing that you can tape down to the page. So, and it has a little rating. What do we call that?
Scale.
Yeah. So you can give it a rating out of 4, I guess. 5. And whether or not you would knit it again. So I think this is lovely, and they fly out of here. But we do have some in stock right now, so if anyone is interested.
And truth be told, Melissa and I started working on a journal last year,
yes.
a year and a half ago.
Yeah, we thought,
we had this idea.
It was very similar to this.
It was very similar.
We're not alone. I'm sure many people.
But I mean, even a few years ago, we had talked about it, and then about a year and a half ago, we're like, okay, let's do it. And then obviously we didn't do it. But we talked a lot. We wrote ideas. Yeah. We have like prototypes, and so Len beat us to it.
We very much approve of Len's version. Right?
We might do our own version eventually, but not that. Len has taken care of that.
What I like is something that is a really tasteful something. So something with this sort of vibe and aesthetic, but that has a spiral.
Yeah.
So that as you do put in yarns or labels
you can
or
have
something,
space
it accommodates the space.
Yeah. Oh, here you
So
forgot
that-
to mention too, it has a nice
Oh,
bookmark
yes.
integrated,
It
which
does
is
have a
always
nice
really
bookmark.
lovely. Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of, we were like, oh, do we do it in a binder format? Remember, we were kind of
Yeah,
going back and
yeah,
forth. I guess we didn't find
exactly.
the perfect way, so we sort of,
That happens with us, right?
Yeah,
All our ideas
all the
hibernate
time.
until somebody else comes out with
and
them.
then we're like, God, we should have,
We should have done
we
it.
should have done that, or why didn't we do our thing?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then Bagoo. So Bagoo, the bags I love. They unfortunately the sailor print is being discontinued. I think we have a couple left in store. I even actually contacted the company and go, really?
You don't have any more
Do you have
sailor
any
stripe?
like hanging around? Really, you're going to discontinue the sailor? So unfortunately they have, but they have these cute little gingham patterns. So this is so we have. I think the last one we talked about, we had the animals and we had the disco dots.
Right.
And then these are the gingham sets. So we've got those new in store.
It's kind of cute for summer. It kind of looks like picnic
Yeah.
tablecloth.
Yes. Definitely has that look to it.
Okay, so those are all up on the website.
Okay, let me highlight that.
Okay, let's go through our
Okay.
list.
Oh, we did this. Okay.
Okay, let's leave those ones for...
Should we do the books?
Yeah.
So we had this book before. The Vertices Unite is actually in this
there,
book.
yeah.
So
Along with several other
really nice patterns. So we've
Stephen
already
West's
talked
most
about this
popular...
one. So
Yeah,
we
so this
decided to
was
bring
his-
it back.
Were there any patterns in this book that had not been published before? Or had they all been...
I believe they were all available. I believe they were all
Okay.
available.
But it is a spectacularly
it's so colorful.
beautiful. It's a colorful book. The photography is great, as it always is with Stephen West.
Yeah.
And so that was that book is all shawls.
yeah, I actually...
You ordered that.
I
didn't
ordered this yarn from La Bien-Aimée in Paris. So I have this
you? Lisa,
yarn
you
waiting
will
for me.
never wear that.
But it's so fun. Look how fun that is. So I know. So it's sitting, I've had it a year now.
So Lisa, this book came out, and Lisa immediately went online and ordered that yarn and the yellow La
Fringe
Bien-Aimée
bag.
field bag.
And it's
from
sitting
La
in my
Bien-Aimée.
basket in my living room.
I know.
I
I wonder
will-
if you.
I know,
I mean,
I
it
don't
is. It's
It's
gorgeous.
so
I think
fun.
you should do
Maybe
it.
I should do it this
think
summer.
You should do it
When
the
I finish
summer.
this one, I should do
Yeah.
it.
Me, this is the one I
Oh
want
yeah.
to do next.
Actually, I started that, eh?
Yeah. This is the excuse me shawl.
I did about 2 inches.
And what happened? You weren't in brioche head mindset yet?
No, I started after in my rehab. I was going to
Oh,
do it
you
as a
did?
rehab project. I'm like, what am I?
Oh
an
my
idiot?
god.
Yeah, no, it wasn't happening.
Really? Oh, I had no idea you
Yeah.
started that.
Well, yeah, I didn't really say anything because I did 2 inches, and you only start with a few stitches. So I restarted it
so
3
good,
times,
though.
and then I said, "Pakapap."
Oh, I've knit
Shpakapap.
this one too. Color craving.
Oh, I have yarn cast on. I've cast that on.
Oh yeah, I think you cast it on before me,
I
and then I
did.
did it, and then you didn't.
Because I did it in
release
a yarn in a linen yarn that we don't carry. So then I felt guilty and I
Okay.
put it aside.
Anyway, so this was a great one. I think every knitter I
It's a
know
fun
has
book.
this one. Everyone ordered
Yeah.
it.
Even if you have the individual patterns, I think it's such a pretty colorful thing.
It
Like I said,
is.
if you don't wear color, you can still have color in your life.
I
Get a
actually
book.
I would like to do this one. The
Oh, yeah.
What is it called?
Is that the I want to say this. It's this one, eh?
It's the
yeah.
dotted race.
Dotted race.
Yeah,
I was
so-
gonna do that one too.
I was thinking like a one color dotted race. Anyway, I love all of. You
Well,
know,
we saw
we're big
those-
fans of Stephen West.
And we
shawls.
saw when he came here, he brought that.
Yes,
That's when
he
I
did.
saw the dotted
That's
ray, and I'm
right.
like, oh, I think I want to do the dotted ray. But then I got sidetracked.
Yeah, yeah.
There's only
So,
so.
but I think we'll and of course we've done the
we both did it.
exploration
Yeah,
station.
That
on
looks
the-
very similar to mine.
Yeah, similar
Yeah.
colors. Well, yours was more red, I think, right?
Yeah, a little bit more red.
Okay, so all that to lead up to the fact that we have now Stephen West Knit Book 2. This is all sweaters, and this one is even crazier.
Well, look at the back
mean-
cover.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's just a hint of
Of
what
what's
is inside the book.
And yet, even though it's so far, okay, so this is so far from how you and I,
Yes.
most people,
Yes.
would go around being dressed.
Yeah.
It still does not make the patterns less accessible for the average person, I find, because I feel like everybody can wear
Yeah.
much of what's in here.
But you just
in a
tone down
different-
your colors.
Turn down your colors, tone down the outfit. I am obsessed with this sweater. It is going to be mine one day.
Oh, yeah, we talked about doing that together, right?
We were
And
going to have a
then-
little private knit along.
Yeah, we said that a couple
I
weeks ago.
really, and I just can't decide what weight of yarn
Yeah.
and what. Yeah, I just
And
I haven't
the
decided on
colors.
my colors. So I haven't decided if I'm going to be really stressed about it and really specific about my colors, or if I'm going to allow myself just to relax and just pull whatever color comes next.
Yeah,
you know,
I think
from my
you have to be in a good place to do that.
To just relax. Like I really want to relax, and every time I say, okay, I'm going to cast that on, I find that I start getting, really specific about my colors.
Yeah.
And then I get stressed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I mean, the point of Stephen West
is
and
to have
his
fun.
patterns is to really have fun.
Well, I was, I don't know if I ever said this, but last year I was near my house and I was walking down the street and this woman was coming towards me and had I don't know which Stephen West pattern, but I could see her coming from, I kid you not, 4 blocks away. I saw the colors, and I'm not a person to really talk to people I don't know or say hi to people in the street, but as she's coming closer to me, I'm like, that's like a Stephen West, and that's got to be some hedgehog or something, because it was out there. And I'm like, wow, how amazing that she felt like she had the confidence to pull that off.
So did you say anything?
Yeah. So as she was coming, I'm like, come on, Lisa, say something to her. Get up your courage. So I'm like, I just, and it's hard in Quebec because you never know if the person is English or French, right? So I'm like, bonjour, hello. And then depending, I think it was in French. She answered me in French. And I was like, I just want to tell you, your style is incredible. Like how colorful I am. And I'm like, oh, is that a Stephen West pattern? And the yarn? And she goes, yes. And it's like this. And she was like talking all about the shawl. And she was so excited that I stopped her. She's telling me all about it. She goes, oh, and I got it at this great yarn store called Espace Tricot. And I was like,
that's good.
I'm one of the owners of Espace Tricot. And she was like, she hugged me, and it was such a moment.
That is great.
And because you know what? If a knitter's going to wear that.
Yeah.
They welcome those compliments.
Of course, you want to be noticed.
You want to be noticed,
especially if you're going to do it in bright colors.
I was so happy I had the courage to do that.
Of course, this entire book of color, this is the one too that I want to do. Right? I even bought all the I took all the yarn home. This is Woolfolk Far. Oh, it's so spectacular.
Oh my God, in Far.
Oh, but I brought it back. I brought it back to the store the other day because I thought I'm not in a headspace to be doing brioche right now. So
one day we'll get there, Melissa.
Yeah. So when I'm all settled, I'm really looking forward to just having projects that I really dig into and build. I got to take my knitting to the next level now again.
I've done brioche, but I've never done brioche two color.
I mean, we've done exploration. Yeah, we did. We did it in the exploration.
Oh yeah, you're right. We did do that. I forgot that. But I mean, I've done like scarf.
I mean, it was 12 rows, and I was happy when they were over. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So that's great. Oh, Amirisu, we're on the
latest.
books.
Yeah, the latest issue of Amirisu is in issue 15, and this one, I mean, this is a beautiful issue, and it's one that is right up our alley, Lise, because everything in it is black and white and gray and very monochromatic.
So pretty.
So sorry, I'm looking at it. Oh, I love these. That's a nice little color work.
That is a very simple, nice
just a very simple color work mitten too.
A nice introduction to color work.
A very nice introduction, but I really like the Andrea Mowry sweater in here. Let's see if I can find it quickly. It's called, where is it? It's coming, there it is. Hachinosu. I just like that
your
combination of the stripe. Yeah, my black and white carpet.
Yeah, of course, it's classic.
That's big and classic. So I think that I think, and it's worsted weight yarn, so it would knit up quickly. I think she uses Yoth yarns for it, which we don't carry, but anyway, lots of beautiful patterns in here. There's those mittens were nice. I like this scarf too. And there was a very cool hat. Oh, this sweater.
Yeah, that's a great pattern.
Look at that. You know,
very nice.
I know. Such a carve out like a month just to work.
Such
on
a nice aesthetic.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So those are all in stock.
I tell you, got to quit your job so you can knit full time. Tell ya, we got into this racket because we thought we'd knit.
We'd have time
to knit, but
that we realized after 3 weeks.
Say a week. Okay, Jezebel. Yeah, so Jezebel, sweet Jezebel. It's so funny because we're always ordering, and then all of a sudden we didn't even realize we were out of stuff until customers were like, "How come I can't find any pieces?" So Jocelyn, Jezebel has come out with 2 new colors. So she has a khaki colorway, which is really nice, and this is the interchangeable case in the khaki with the gingham interior. So this is a new color. We've had these products, but this is a new color. And then we have, I'll continue with the green. She's also doing bags. This was a limited supply, so she had just done a few things for us, but I still don't know if it's going to be limited or if it's a fabric she can get, because she has her standard fabrics and then some she gets just limited batches. So I don't know about this one. It was limited, but I have a feeling
she might have got her hands on some more.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is project bags that come in different sizes, and also it has the gingham lining inside. So the khaki colorway, and did you want to show the other khaki?
Yeah,
things?
so, and I just wanted to show, this is the interchangeable needle case, and that's how it folds
I love them.
up. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so
I've
good.
transferred 2 of my kits already into
Really?
these. Yeah.
I haven't got the interchangeable. I've got the DPN ones and the circular needle holders, which I love because they just fold exactly like this. I mean, of course, they're much bigger and much longer, but they slide right into my drawer unit.
Yeah.
I have that Alex drawer unit from
Nice
IKEA,
and flat.
and so they're shallow drawers,
But long.
So I can just open my drawer and I have my.
They're so
I
great.
just pull the roll I need.
I put my Addy bamboo in one in the green, and I put my Addy, because I don't like the Addy cases, the interchangeable cases, so I have my Addies in there.
So here's the notions pouches, which, these are so great because you can have all your notions in there. You open it up. It's
that's
a
what
bit
I use.
origami. Exactly.
Oh, I should get
And
mine.
you've got all of your...
And this is a new colorway as well, Melissa. It's the cognac.
Yeah, that's the cognac. And then, of course, we have it in both large and small in the khaki as well, with the gingham in the middle.
Yeah, we were out of those cases for a while, and then we got them. And for people who are worried that they think things are going to fall out,
They really don't.
They don't. Like, I use this. I bring
really
it everywhere.
packed it up.
Yeah. I mean, I have.
Oh my God.
I've got stuff.
That's heavyweight.
Because I got cases in my cases. So we won't go there. That's another one of my things. And so nothing falls out of here. And I bring it to school.
Can I open it?
Yeah, of course.
Nothing crazy is going to fall out of you.
No. I don't know.
Oh my God, you do have cases in your cases.
Yeah.
But see, it holds a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's hold it up
These
a
are
little
like
bit.
stitch markers, and
But then it just sort of sits open on your your table next
I've
to
got
you.
my
or on your
chibi.
chair next to you. Yeah.
I've got my business card. I've got tulip needles.
Espace Tricot gauge ruler, you guys. So we did put our logo on something else.
I know. Look at that. I've got a pen. I've got a highlighter. I got measuring tape.
Stitch stoppers.
I've got another gauge ruler.
This is like the tickle trunk.
Oh yeah, I've got the cocoa knits.
Yeah.
Look at, I got my scissors, and then behind my scissors, I've got Fixa stitches. I've got cable needles. This is like what's in your purse. People do these, but what's in your purse. I've got another clover one.
Row counter.
Thank you. So, I mean, it fits a lot of stuff.
It fits a ton of stuff. The large one fits a ton of stuff, and the little one is just great for smaller things. That in the small one, I have my stitch markers, stitch stoppers, a gauge ruler.
What I do with the little one
darning needles
is that if I'm working on a project that's requiring like cables or like a lot of
then
stitch,
you can just pack that into.
then I pack a little one and I throw that in my project bag.
Yeah.
So I don't have to bring my big thing. Or when I travel, when I go on the plane, I'll bring a very limited amount of notions when I'm on the plane. Okay. So. And like I said, I bring it to school, I bring it in my bag, and it's fantastic. So
these are back in stock, and did we get the other colors in stock as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
well, she actually, we had such a large order that she divided into two.
Okay, so they're on their way, though.
So the second part is on their way. And also I wanted to show she's doing a cognac and denim with the stripes. So that's a new colorway.
And do you show people how these will fold into baskets?
No, j'ai pas fait ça.
Okay. So like a bucket. It'll make a little bucket that will sit on your sofa or on your table or wherever. Because Jezebel had contemplated making buckets, right? And so let's just put some stuff in here, Elise.
Here's my project.
And then she realized, there we go. Yeah. And then she realized that these actually make good little buckets that sit right on your...
And at one of our knit nights, we had the staff, a bunch of them had their projects.
Yeah, they had their projects. They were just knitting out of their bags, and their bags were on the table like that.
Perfect.
Isn't it good?
It's such a cute little bucket.
It is a good little bucket.
Oh, I gotta get a green one now. I don't have a green one.
Flip up your handle. You don't need a green one too, Lisa.
I want a green one. Super cute.
They are great. And then you're ready to go again.
Yeah. Look at that. So that's our wonderful Jezebel. And then the yarn bowls.
Oh, okay.
Did you bring a black one too, Melissa?
Oh, no? I didn't bring a black one. Do we have any left?
I think so. I think I saw one in the front.
So before Christmas, we had come up with a little line. We had developed a line of pottery with Hugo Didier, who is a local ceramicist, and he had done our knitting fuel mugs for us, which we only have a few left of right now. And he did notion stitches, and he also did yarn bowls for us. And so we have a few. We had another big shipment. We've had a few shipments now, actually, and we have another one on the way. But we do still have. So I think we have 4 mugs left,
and some bowls
out of 50 that we.
No dishes left, and he's going to make
notion stitches are out. But
I think he said the beginning of March he was going to do another order.
Beginning of March, okay.
Yeah, he was going to do another order.
So we do have our yarn bowls, and then
we got.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we decided to get some in case people didn't want to sing. We decided to get black.
Yeah, and if you just wanted plain, a very simple.
And we've had a lot of yarn bowls in our store, and I have to say these are beautiful. There's like a heft to them, and there's a solidity, and
they don't move. You know how some you can kind of drag a little bit.
They're really professional. Like I feel these are like really professional, and I'm not worried that they're going to break or they're.
Well, they will break. Well, if you drop it.
Of course. But I mean, sometimes there was like, I was scared to kind of move them because they were too fragile. That's it. It's the fragile.
They're not fragile.
So
they're solid, like us.
Yeah. So some people have been asking us about French sayings, and we are aware, like we, our garment labels, we have English and French. Now we have the Kitchener stitch, English and French. But it's really hard to find a saying in French
that resonates. With knitters,
so we're working on it. We have a list.
We have a list. We're working,
we have suggestions. So it's we don't want any of our French customers to think we're alienating them. It's very hard for us just to get them out.
Yes.
So, we get them out in English. And then finally there, and then, okay, now we got to get the French ones. It's even like knitting totes. Like we're trying to find something different for a new tote. So we got to think of English and French. And, we're not Francophone either. So we think something is good.
And then a Francophone might be, no, that doesn't work.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah. Or sometimes it's like too long, so you can't fit it on something.
So
we are aware and we are working on it. So just want to let everybody know. And we forgot about these things. These Knitter's Pride. So
cable.
Yeah, the cable. So just very quickly, if anybody has the Coco Knits bracelets, the Maker's Keep or the older one that were called Knitter's Keep, I think.
Yes, exactly.
The cable needle, some people found it a little bit thin. So Knitter's Pride actually has these cable.
It's a cable needle, but it's a different shape, different style.
Yeah. And it could also be like a fix-a-stitch because it's just like this one is straight.
True.
There's 3
I didn't
different.
know we had straight ones.
We have straight.
Oh, okay.
And we have 3 kinds.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah. So we've got this is your traditional one. This is your U-hook, and then this is straight. So it can also be a fix-a-stitch.
But it does stick to the
to the Maker's Keep or the Coco Knits Knitter's Keep. Yeah. So if any of you are interested, we have those, and they're available online, I believe.
Okay. Actually, I'm not sure, Lise, but they will be by the time this goes.
It'll be on your list.
Because I haven't put those online yet. Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. So I think we have 2 kinds of yarns to...
2 yarns to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay, so one is just a straight up restock. We have recently, this is just a sampling of it, but we've recently received a whole bunch of...
So pretty.
I know, of Hedgehog in skinny singles and the Kid Silk lace. And for anybody who was interested in working up the Andrea Mowry pattern, Birds of a Feather, the Crybaby colorways are what she used for that. I think it was Crybaby.
I think it is.
This is looking a bit different now.
I think because it's darker.
Is it?
Yeah, I think hers was a little bit lighter in colors.
Lighter.
Yeah,
okay.
It could have been the photography as well.
I remember it feeling a little like there was more weight in it.
Yes, I think it's.
So you're gonna look it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, another combination I quite like is Artifact. So this I have to say that this time Artifact came from Hedgehog, and it seems to be have a little bit more orange in it. So it's not quite the same as Artifact that we've had before. The Kid Silk lace looks the same, but they still work really well together, so that's another option. And then of course, if anybody's doing nice crazy Stephen Weston, Beata Jezik inspired knits, then we've got all the crazy colors. It is okay. So what do you think? You think
yeah.
It's
definitely.
It's the same. Okay. So Hedgehog.
It's true. I had because you know why? Look at this picture.
Is it because sometimes in the window it's very light? It's because it's overexposed that picture.
Yeah. It's pretty.
Okay, it is pretty, but it's not accurate.
Yeah. So that's that. And then we have our Asylum Fibers.
Asylum Fibers. Yeah. So Stephanie's incredible.
Oh my God.
Stephanie has a full-time job.
She doesn't sleep, basically.
She basically doesn't sleep.
And she started this out of her, 400 square foot apartment in Queens.
Exactly. She's since moved, and I think she's got a bigger space now. But, I mean, she works all day and dies all night.
I think she has like 800 square feet, but it's her living space and her studio.
Workspace. Yeah. And so, we only ordered this at the very end of January. It was after
fast.
Vogue Knitting Live.
Yeah.
It was after Vogue Knitting Live, and so it was right after Vogue Knitting Live. She managed to get it in the mail to us just the first week of February.
Yeah.
And it took a couple of weeks, unfortunately, to get here, even though it's only from New York. But things get held up at customs for us when they cross the border. Mm-hmm. But they arrived just in time for her visit, which was great. And, I had seen Asylum Fibers sort of out and about, but never. So Stephanie was at India Untangled. I don't even think we could get to her booth because I don't remember seeing her there. But I just love the intensity of the colors. And what I'm always struck by is how hand dyers are able to distinguish themselves, because there are a lot of hand dyers out there. Mm-hmm. And I find that if they're good, they will create a look that's uniquely theirs.
And you can, we have various hand dyers.
You can tell a hedgehog, you can tell a Tosh, you can tell a Art Phil, you can tell
Tanis, Julia Slane, Sweet Georgia.
Of course.
Their colors are very distinctive and their techniques are very distinctive.
Yeah, and so when I saw this, I thought, to me, it. Oh, look at this. Howling Dandelions. I mean, the names alone just make you want to.
I have to say, I find the color, her colorways match the name Asylum Fibers. I don't know. They're just
because
it's like they're all over. They're crazy. I know that. That's what I'm saying. It's cool.
Yeah. So all creepy graffiti. I love this one because it has every color in here. This one is Bright Side. I mean, we just grabbed a couple here. I think we have 32 colors of each. So we got the 100% merino single.
I grabbed
single
this color.
Yeah.
Sleepless. Actually, I'm feeling
delirium.
I'm actually feeling a bit yellow these days.
How intense this is. Are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling like I've been looking for a yellow bag. I'm going yellow this summer.
Well, we have our fringe
bags. I should take it out. Yeah. So I'm feeling yellow. So I'm I got some Art Phil Solo too, a bit yellow that we had in our singles.
I just can't wear yellow next to my face.
Yeah,
that's
Can
it.
You? No, I don't think so. No. But maybe I could do something with gray and then yellow.
This is delirium. What is it? Oh, this is creepy graffiti.
This is ladylike. I find this is hilarious. Yeah. This is like a lady in stilettos. I think. Yeah. With a leather mini skirt.
Oh yeah, and a whip. So we got two yarn qualities, right?
Yeah.
So we have the 100% merino single ply, and we have MCN. So 80-10-10 merino cashmere.
And this is called Funny Farm. The
misdiagnosed. Funny Farm is the MCN.
The name of the yarn is called Funny Farm. And I can't say MCM. I always have to say merino. I'm not good for abbreviations. Merino cashmere nylon.
And the
solitary. So the solitary is a single ply 100% superwash merino. Yeah. And the Funny Farm is the applied 80-10-10. SMN, whatever. MC. Whatever that is.
So all the photos for the Funny Farm, the MCN, are now up on our website, and we have to get photos from our photographer for the solitary.
In the meantime, can they go to her website and see the colors?
So unfortunately, Stephanie has the colorways on her website photographed on the MCN, and
it's different.
And it's fine, but I find that when you look at the same color, do we have a creepy graffiti here, for example?
Oh yeah, here, this, no?
Yeah, this is creepy graffiti. They
are different.
To me, they're different enough on the two bases that it's worth having a photograph for each.
I agree.
So we'll have them photographed by our photographer and have them up soon, hopefully. Hopefully before we go. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, because we have a bin ready for the photographer.
Oh, do we? Okay. And he's really quick. As soon as we deliver the bin to him, he's quick.
So that's it. So that's very exciting. We're happy to add that.
Yeah, to our
that new hand dyer to our shelves.
Because you can never get enough hand dye.
You can never get enough. And it's so funny because as much as you can never get enough hand dye, we are also very much about complementing with
the wools,
the more rustic wools.
Yeah. So because when we first opened, rustic wools were really not where a lot of alpaca. Like alpaca was super popular. Then it was moved into the merino and like the super soft and the super wash and the hand dyes. And now we feel like there's that, it's been a little while now, the push towards some more rustic fibers that are not super wash. So we'd like to have a balance of all that, which I think we're good at.
I think we have the next one. The next sort of rustic we're going to bring in is tuku.
Yeah,
tuku
that's
wool.
one we've been looking at.
Yeah, so that is next on our list. We're just waiting for Julie Asselin is distributing that one here, so we're just waiting for her to. A lot of the natural colors are back ordered.
Yeah.
So as soon
it's always like that, The natural colors.
They're popular. Well, tuku it took off.
Yes, and that's what happens.
So it's popular. Yeah.
And did we not show the comfort cardi in the last one?
Oh, the comfort cardi.
I think we did, but maybe...
No, we didn't.
We didn't, eh? Okay.
You guys. So Stephanie, the designer of this lovely sweater...
You know what? I'm going to take this off just so you can really... see it. You can appreciate the collar.
So Stephanie works in store for us, and so she not only does she design, but she also does knitting for us.
Mm-hmm. Like so many of our consultants.
Yeah, like so many of our consultants. And so this one she knit it fairly quickly. So she knit one for herself. This is Andrea Mowry's Comfort Fade Cardi, and it's knit with Madeline Tosh DK in, how many, is it 4 different colorways?
Yes, 4 colors.
And so it took 7 skeins in this size. This is 37.5 inches. And I think it's beautiful, that sort of deep plum and gray with black flecks.
Because we had been saying that we wanted to knit it, and then it was only when she came in wearing hers, then we were like, okay, let's do it.
We got to do it. And so what better person to have knit it than the person who just finished one? Yeah. And so that's up on Ravelry already. So if you want the details about it.
And Stephanie's the one who answers our Ravelry comments. So if you have if you have questions and someone's answering, you'll know that it's Stephanie. Yeah. And we just wanted to touch base. We had some questions recently about people asking us about needles and what type of needles to knit with. And, I've had some very interesting experiences lately because I am truly a metal knitter. I will knit with wood if it's slippery, if I'm using mohair, if I'm doing silk or linen. But because I am tight, and but now I'm having a problem. So I talked about doing the artisan needles, the hexagonal ones, because of my injury,
the plastic ones,
and that's been going really well, and it's helping me. But I said I'm going to try. When I was doing the sweater here, I said I'm going to try. And because it's wool, I said I'm going to try using my Addies. Well,
because we're Addie
lovers
mostly.
Yeah.
I will use the Luca needles as well, and the tulip ones I like as well. Different, as you say, for different fibers, right? So if I'm using mohair or lightweight, slippery yarns, linens for the summer versus your straight up wools.
Yeah. So straight up wools, we're going to go more for metal. Yeah. And so I said, okay, I'm going to try my Addies. I did my swatch, and the whole time I was getting these little shocks, like as if when you have a filling and you have a piece of aluminum foil, that's what I'm like, it's impossible, it's got to be in my brain, like this is. So I said I am going
for those of you who don't know, Lisa actually has some metal in her wrist now since her accident, so part of the operation required that they put a plate
and some screws, and it's titanium, which is supposed to not react to things.
Yeah, so
but I knit the whole swatch, and I said I'm going to do it all because maybe it's a hump I have to get over. Anyways, I would, after that, I had to put oils, I had to massage, I had to shake it out, get that feeling out. And it wasn't just like a subtle feeling, it was actually pains. It was actually sharp pain. So I was like, I said, I was kind of depressed actually because it's hard for me to knit wool on wood. So I'm trying to be really loose as I'm knitting, and then every once in a while I can't, like we said earlier, right? Yeah. You have to knit. You have to change your needles. Yeah. You can't try to knit looser. So I'm trying to knit looser, so now my gauge is going to be a little bit off.
So that you can comfortably knit with the wood.
Because then it's like, what happens is that it's not sliding,
but as soon as
I'm frustrated.
As soon as you switch to the wood lease, those pains in your wrist went away?
Went away. So I'm like, maybe it's temporary. Maybe I started acupuncture, so maybe something's gonna help me with that. But so needles are very personal. You have to sort of know what you're knitting, who you are, what kind of experience. And for me, knitting with wood slows me down, and it doesn't make it as pleasurable. So I'm going through a little bit of a funk right now of trying to. I hope I don't have to, like, en français, we say faire mon deuil, that I won't be able to use metal anymore. But it's not as fluid and fun for me to knit on that. So, anyways, I found that was a very, very interesting. And, I just wanted a little quick thing, which you do all the time, Melissa, is that idea of steaming.
Oh
measuring.
Yes, I saw. So I saw your Instagram post the other day about how you finally learned I'm steaming, so I know exactly where my pockets are going to go.
Yeah.
Yes, Melissa
always does it, and I
steam as I go.
And for some reason, I always felt like I was jinxing something. It's like, no, I have to finish it before I sew in all my ends and then block it. It's like if I block it as I go, I don't know, something's going to change.
Yeah.
So I never did it.
So, but what do you?
Some psychological thing, maybe.
So there's so many issues.
Oh my God! It's tough to be me. No, I have to say though,
I feel like blocking prevents the negative and unanticipated issues.
Of course it does.
I can actually make changes or adjust or whatever if I block, and it's like, oh, this is too big, too small, too this, too that.
Of course,
or my pockets are too high or too low, or
yes.
And also, more than anything, the biggest reason I block as I go is motivation.
Yeah, because then you're like,
because it's like, oh my God, this looks like a hot mess. It's like,
especially with linens. That's what I tell.
Especially with linens.
I tell people when they're doing linen, they're so discouraged. I'm like, no, just block it a little bit.
So, and linen, you can iron right on linen. If it's 100% linen.
And you know what? I have a steamer. Like I have a what's it, Rowenta?
Yeah.
Steamer.
Do you find that as effective? I feel I need to put like a wet tea towel on mine and push my steam.
But it depends what I'm doing. Like if I'm doing a swatch, I can get it wet. I can
with
just
the
because the steamer heats up in like 30 seconds.
Okay.
So if I don't want to get out because I don't have my I have to get out my ironing board, heat up the iron. So what I did was I steamed it, but at the end I'll do a proper.
Yeah, of course, a proper block.
So I said either it's that or nothing. So
but that was smart to block it before you put that you could decide.
So I think
get the proper length to know if you were at the right spot for your pockets.
Yeah.
That's smart.
So I think I just wanted to mention that I think it's a really smart idea to do a little bit of blocking, especially with measurements.
And we've had people ask us to do the blocking demonstration.
Yeah, I know. It's just we got to get all this.
You know what the problem is that I've been camping out at my sister's in a small apartment. And your apartment doesn't have a lot of light.
No light.
And there's too much stuff here to schlep the ironing board and the steamer and the whole thing.
So when you're set up in your new place,
then we'll start doing some.
We'll have like a field trip to your place,
and we'll just do a couple of demo videos.
Yes, and we'll do it proper because there's many different ways to block, and we use all the techniques depending on what we're doing. Yeah. And it's like especially when you're doing sleeve lengths and it says go to 12 inches. Well, especially if you're doing linen, you knit to 12 inches. After you block that, you're going to stretch it
exactly.
So
you have to. It's almost like you need to block before you cast off.
So if you don't want to get your iron out and do that, if you do have a steamer or whatever, there's many different ways. But I really think it's a smart thing to do. So
see, my iron's always out.
Yeah, I don't have space. I live in like a everyone's on top of us. I live in a little spot.
Yeah.
So I think that's really it now.
So we're really done.
We're done.
And we will see you guys again via podcast
soon.
Again in
Instagram.
Yeah.
And on Instagram.
Yeah. In the meantime, we'll be doing lots of Instagramming and Facebook posts and stuff. Yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in. It's much appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe and join our
I'm so glad you said that this time.
It just came to me in a vision. Take care, everyone. Good seeing you.
Yeah,
thanks,
ciao,
everybody. Bye. I think we gotta start that again.
Really?
Yeah, that was bad. How do we